Just on another note, as I was just finishing up that last one, I was feeling pretty good about myself, pretty proud. And then suddenly I was noticing this big structure as I was walking by. Apparently it's the Gilmore House for kids. I was like, that's great, that's super, right? There's all sorts of, just looking at it going, wow, there's all sorts of stuff going on. I was like smiling, that's great. But then as I went to the parking lot, suddenly this big flood of fucking just just of horror. I feared for myself that there's this gigantic electrical facility of just, I'm at the skate park right now, and you can see to where, like, there's the Gilmore House, there's the electrical waves of just horror and death. Like right now, I know for a fact that I'm consuming some waves from that place, and the Gilmore place is closer than I am to it, and they're two kids. Then as I was walking by, I was smiling, like, wow, what's this place? Through this cage of, do not, don't even look over here. We're trying to protect our kids, right? And I was like, oh, the Gilmore House, right? For kids, he kind of said. I was like, all right, thank you. And I walked on by. I was like, that's cool. And then I saw this electrical thing. And I'm like, oh my God. It's just resentment. I don't know what to call it. It's just to where, don't take your kids to the Gilmore House, please. I'm further away than they are right now, and I fear for my health. It's like, so I repeat, don't take your kids to the Gilmore House and think that they're safe in these walls of cage and brick. Because I don't care how many cages or bricks you put your kids in, those waves go right through them and your kids. So don't. I repeat, don't take your kids to Gilmore House. It ain't as cool as I thought it was. Matter of fact, it's very horrific. I'm going to get up right now and get away from those waves. I know scientific, I ain't no professional. But I know that there's things coming from there we can't see that we're not told about. And, when I'm further in my recovery, I would like to go back to this Gilmore House, wearing like a radiation suit, something. Talk to the manager, the owner, whoever's responsible for destroying these children's health. And it's like, if he's not aware of it, he should be aware of it. And when I make him aware of something that he's not aware of, I would hope that I come back later and he has researched this electrical death wave creating thing and says, you know what, I'm glad you told me. We're going to move this facility or put like a big Faraday cage around it, because the brick and cage they got it in now, it ain't going to stop the Faraday waves. And on a note, that spark gap generator, those were outlawed back in 1800 something, right? Spark gap generator. Check it out. They're illegal to run. They're legal to make, but illegal to turn on. All right? They were kind of legal, for the government during the war times, for some reason during war times, right? Get it? But then they were not, no. They're legal to have and to make, just like a automatic weapon, an Uzi, totally legal as long as it's in pieces, as long as you don't have all the pieces in the same room or something. Don't put it together. Spark gap generator, you can make it as long as you have it in a Faraday cage to turn it on. If you don't know what a Faraday cage is, picture like a cyclone fence, that everybody knows, but made of copper, I believe, like in a cage. Like you've seen those motorcycles, how they go around in a big sphere. Imagine that made of copper. Your cell phones won't work in there, right? Right. For you people out there, you know, there's no cell phone coverage inside of a Faraday cage. You get it? Wink, wink. You know, like when your friends lose your stuff, you know, you don't want to accuse people of stealing stuff, so you just say they lost your stuff. You know, or the term dump truck. You know, I'm like, I overheard that. I dump trucked her. Oh, what? Yeah, you dumped her and you trucked it out of there. You know, you know, or you know, I'll use the term on my skin. You know, like I bought a bus pass from somebody for $10, and I still owe him $5. And he's like, you know, on your skin? I'm like, yeah, of course, on my skin. And I was like, what does that mean? Obviously, it's a term to where I'm going to trust you. So I'm going to skin you if I can't trust you or something. I'm not sure. I'm almost afraid to ask. But anyway, I learned that I have other triggers. And I'm too early in my recovery to put a name on it, but I know, do not take your kids to that place because of that place or this skate park without wearing a hazardous suit that has like a copper mesh, you know, like copper is recyclable, right? Like everybody's like, you know, stealing or killing or eating copper to, you know, just so you don't have it, right? Well, I could picture a time in the future where there is no copper at all. That's like rubber, like for rain. Like if it's raining and everybody's trying to save the environment, so you recycle rubber till there's no rubber left, no rubber boots, no rubber raincoat, no protection, you know, get it? You know, so protect your kids and put them in a rubber raincoat that has a copper lining, you know, copper mesh, smaller. I'm sure that there's a size difference because when they had these channels, you know, like 1, 2, 3, you know, just normal channels everybody knew. They no longer have those. Those were called white channels. They don't have those anymore. Those were for sale at one time. They're not for sale anymore to the public. I mean, they were for a small moment, you know, but then they're gone, you know. Nope. I mean, ask kids nowadays, and it's like, you know, those people who know, like me, I remember watching the first MTV video, which, of those you don't know, it's Video Killed the Radio Star. I remember skipping 4th grade, or not skipping, but, you know, realizing that the Michael Jackson video, which was going to be the longest video ever, it was 15 minutes long. Unbelievable, you know? It was the Thriller video. I remember waiting, you know, what's school? What's anything, you know? I want to see this longest video. It could have been just like a guy picking his nose, like Howard Stern. You know, if you guys don't know, when he first went to satellite radio, first 24 hours, he had I believe it was a woman. You know, I don't want to be vulgar, but she was not farting out of her mouth or her butt. You know, her other orifice was creating the sound, and it was 24 hours. Anyway, I don't want to be gross and vulgar, but I listened to it. I worked for Dodge at the time, and they had satellite radios built into these trucks and stuff. And just so you know, I'm early in my recovery, and I have trust issues. And I don't trust that. And I don't trust me. But I do trust my heart, which is inside of me. So, anyway, I'm obviously further in my recovery than I thought. And, you know, I'm fighting the urge to warn people about this place. I'm not far enough in my recovery to be responsible enough to tell people in a way that they understand. That's why I'm doing this. Because I gotta talk to somebody. But anyway, I'm gonna go. Love you, Shawn. Bye.